Hello, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at the Nanatsu No Taizai, the 7 Deadly Sins, most recent chapter. Let's get into it. So, what is Nanatsu No Taizai? Nanatsu No Taizai is a series that covers the 7 deadly sins who were formed to take down the demon spawn that is the 10 Commandments. Now, I'll break down what's been going on in a separate segment, but this is a series that's covered by Kodansha. They published them, and basically it's actually quite popular. They're in the second major arc. I believe there are 3 major arcs planned. How long that's going to last, we don't know, but let's get into what's happening so far. So, the story so far. For those who haven't seen the anime, I suggest checking it out. It isn't too bad. It does compress 100 chapters or so it does miss a lot of things out, but still worthwhile checking out. Now, since then, the 10 Commandments, the Demon Spawn, have been revived, and it is a case of the battle against them. So we've had a period of downfall where a lot of these 7 deadly sins have been taken out. Meliodas died, his resurrection, and now they're dealing with the issue of Dreyfus, which is has been taken up by Fraudrin, which is kind of a stand-in 10 Commandments for Gautha. So this part of this chapter now is more about dealing with that plot point and dealing with Fraudrin as a whole and tying up any loose ends with that. Now, without further ado, let's actually get into the 5-point review. So, point number 1. The introduction of the chapter starts off with a lot of reconciling, a lot of apologizing, a lot of regret, and that really is Dreyfus reconciling and reuniting with Grimmore, Dreyfus and Hendrickson, and the whole thing with Zardros. There's a lot of I'm sorry that you did this, you've grown up. It's all nice, all good, it's all very heartfelt and tugging on your heartstrings type of situation. I mean, you can all read that, you can see all the wording. I'm not going to get into that. What I found was important when this was the message to let Gilthunder know that I'm always watching. And it's important from a storytelling point of view, or a different direction the author could be going with this, is Gilthunder not meeting his father only can go off the strength of the stories and the histories. So him not knowing how strong he was compared to a 10 Commandment, albeit the weakest 10 Commandment, gives him something to strive for in terms of living up to the legend rather than the man. And I guess not meeting him gives him the ability to keep progressing and growing further and beyond his father ever could. So he's all relatively strong. He's one of the stronger people in the humans kind of meeting, or the human council of knights. But compared to 7 deadly sins, he's got a lot to work towards. But he's one of the stronger ones, so he's still quite young and he can work towards getting stronger in the near future. But that's point number 1, reconciling, reuniting, regret, and moving forward. So point number 2, the pleasantries, the good feel moment doesn't last. And it's because Fraudrin is alive, and he's not little anymore, he's full sized, and he basically says, had I been in my weaker state, it would have been a different situation, but because I'm back to my full power, lo and behold, my full form, and he's like a giant of a man, which explains why the crater was so big way back when Meliodas fought him in the old town that he used to live in when Liz died. So kind of seeing that explains how big, why he was so big. Now he tries stomping on everybody and they get saved by Merlin and the cube, which is remarkably close to how the Dragon Ball Super Cube of teleportation is, but we'll not get into that. So there's 2 things to take from this. One, you can look at it in a way that says, well, why didn't she just save both Hendrickson and Dreyfus? The main reason for that is because she didn't know he was good. They get explained that. They say, look, he's back to normal, and he was the demon that was inside him, and then basically they find out from there. He's obviously Fraudrin still wants to go in for the kill, and he gets stopped, which leads into point number 3. Point number 3, encounters, interruptions, and tying up loose ends. And this is a main point. This is something I kind of hinted at, or I expected to happen in previous videos, and that was the clash between Meliodas and Fraudrin. So he turns up, and much to everyone's surprise, other than Merlin's, who seems to kind of expect it for some reason, but that's probably going to be in her backstory, which we'll soon find out. He turns up, he's ready to kick ass. Fraudrin's like, oh my god, I need to kill you, blah 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 blah, you traitorous man. But it's just interesting to see that point of them having to tie up that loose end is going to come about now, and that's point number 3. So point number 4, the fight, and then point number 5 is going to be speculation, but we'll get to that. Anyway, point number 4, the fight starts, and they seem pretty evenly matched, the backwards and forwards, and you get a bit of Fraudrin bragging, saying, look, even as far as you've come, I'm at this point now, I can't be taken, because he's got his full power back basically, and he believes Meliodas is weakened. So this is all going well, and people are speculating on how they're really evenly matched. What's going to happen? I can't guess. And Hauser basically, I think, says that, and Merlin's like, well, his power is at 30,000, but something is strange. He goes, that's a copy, and it's a clone. So he basically cloned himself into 2, and his power was 30,000 as a clone. When he puts it together, it's 60,000. And then we see a bit of Meliodas, and you're like, that's not good. So Meliodas is very tauntish, and he's very cold, and he's telling him like, oh, it's a good feeling to let you get ahead of yourself and take everything away and make you feel despair. And then he shows his demon insignia mark, tattoo form, whatever you want to call it, and he has that look on his face that very much is how he used to be. So the way they word the chapter at the end, he goes, he's the pinnacle of strength, he's the pinnacle of evil as well. Could he be fully evil now? We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think he's going to be fully evil if he gets to 100,000. But he's a lot closer than he was originally. Anyway, let's move on to speculation. That's a crazy way to end it. That face that Meliodas made, crazy. Point number 5, speculation. Point number 5, speculation. So with this one, I'll keep it short and sweet because the main points have been covered. With him now being a lot closer to his original form when he was in the 10 Commandments, is this the perfect go-between where when he's fighting he's perfectly humble and what have you? Or is this a situation where he's gone beyond that point? He's gone beyond that point of balance and he's gone to a darker side, which will make him more cold and much more cool and more calculated, scarier even. It very much looks like that because his tattoo is evolving, and I'm guessing the 60,000 is without that power, so it's going to be even more with his demon ability, and with his demon ability more fully fledged now, will we see more of his transformation into a demon potentially? It's all looking good, it's all looking crazy. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really know the answers if I'm honest, but that's where I'm guessing it's going. I'm leaving you with a few questions which I'm sure you can answer in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this chapter, if you enjoyed this review, let me know in the comment section below and give me a thumbs up where appropriate. As always, please share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate that, and I'll see you next time. Peace.